It's the age of imperialism. Diplomacy era of empire has arrived. Let's take a look at what's different with this game, and we'll give you a little introduction to the new diplomacy on Legendary Tactics. We'd like to thank Renegade Games for providing a review copy of this game as well.
Well, as our resident specialist of diplomacy...
Well, I have to clarify that I have interviewed all kinds of experts in the world. I am not an expert, so especially this game, which I have yet to play.
That's true.
So now we got one of the best introductions possible to this. A fellow named Thomas Haver, who's one of the co-designers of the game. This is sort of an updated version of an Avalon Hill game, and that was called?
Colonial Diplomacy.
Right, and there were a few changes, I think. So how is Colonial Diplomacy similar to this? For people who know that, that's an Avalon Hill
Well,
title.
what I'll do is I'll compare it more to the original Diplomacy, the base game that everyone knows. So essentially, it uses a different map. It's the Middle East and Asia, Southeast Asia. And the three differences in the rules were simply that Hong Kong is a supply center for every nation except China. The power that controls the Middle East, Egypt, actually can block the Mediterranean. So there's the Suez Canal, whatever. So you can block that with that. And there's also a railroad that ran across Russia, so the Russian player could move
quick access across.
Very, just zoom across the country, and you could block it if you controlled part of the railroad. It prevented Russia from doing that, at least beyond that point.
Nice. I think one of the purposes of this game was to clean up a lot of those sort of finicky little, exceptions and those types of rules.
So and also to address the play balance, because in the original, in Colonial Diplomacy, I believe it was Britain was famously overpowered, and I think it was France was underpowered. Yeah, there was some balance issues that players have been complaining about. So I think this was an attempt to address that.
Well, what's interesting with diplomacy too is that balance powers are often addressed above the board with the discussions and the negotiations. You might be a smaller power or appear to be disadvantaged, but that can be an advantage when you sell it to players.
Yes, true.
So we've got the individual maps that players can look at, so they don't tip their hands of where they're looking. Now, in this game, the Netherlands have been upgraded. In previous iterations, they were just a supply center. Now they are a full power.
Full nation.
So 22 centers in order to win with this one. So a few more centers. It's a bigger map, more supply centers available. And there are a few rule changes too. So let's get the map out and have a look-see here.
Nice and shiny.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Oh, that's beautiful. So there are a number of places where you can march across where they're connected with these arrows. And in Colonial,
there was a few differences.
There were a few differences. Like this one didn't exist, that one didn't exist. A number of them. I don't think that one exists in the original. So I think they've facilitated movement to speed things up that way. Yeah. So a few of the major differences in this one, the winter phase becomes really important in this game because you can convert units from army to navy, navy to army.
And you also have forward builds.
Forward builds, right. So in original diplomacy, you could only build in your home center. So it was a bit of a slog that you spread your armies and then you build and you spread. Whereas this one, you can switch alliances really quickly because you might suddenly pop someone in a forward position that your opponents were not expecting.
Yes, and I think you probably had to have something like that because this map is gigantic. Like to get from Egypt to the Philippines.
Yeah, it's
that's
huge.
A lot of movement.
Absolutely.
So they needed to do something that
So
way,
I wonder if that's the counterbalance. So instead of having this train running across the north, instead now the forward conscription means you just push forward, capture, and then you can keep that momentum going. And diplomacy is such a game of momentum where when you get rolling and you start winning builds, then you keep that steamroll going. But when you start getting thumped by your allies and you have to disband and then you get hit more and you disband. So it is the momentum, I think, shifts in this game will be really fascinating to track. So awesome. Let's take a quick look at the rulebook here. So a different color. It's blue now instead of the sort of brown, earthy tone of the other one. So
and a very fine print, but I don't think it's that much more complicated. The original Diplomacy, the rules are basically straightforward, but it's where things are chaining together, or this supply is, or this support is cut, and then therefore this battle doesn't have, like, that gets a little bit complicated, I think, for some players. But
that's right.
So they do need to explain that in detail. But
and I love that, you know, when we've had a game around for over 50 years, that you start to realize here are the problems that people have. So they've got a section called special circumstances with you're not allowed to dislodge yourself, and you know, things like this that players will inevitably find.
Try and find a way.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's trying to find the hack, right?
Yeah.
So and this is nice. They've got a strategic challenges here.
Well, and also rules to help you resolve orders to make sure you've got.
That's cool. But check this out. So they've got sort of strategy for each of the different nations.
Yeah.
That's neat. So the Netherlands, for instance, they control the Java Sea, is paramount to the Dutch.
Yes. So the Java Sea being somewhere over here. Java Sea, there
it is. Nice. Okay.
Okay, so this is where the Dutch are based, I guess.
Yeah, interesting. So, okay.
Yeah.
Sort of an Indonesian kind of influence there.
Yeah, no, it's neat. I like it when they give people a little bit of a taste of the strategy, so then people can start from that point and then create their own from there.
Because, I mean, there's 7 powers in the game, and to learn the strategy for all 7 powers, it takes a little bit, so at least this gets you on the right path.
Because it's not only learning your own power, but learning the strengths and weaknesses of the powers around you. And especially if you're thinking of this to make the game more accessible faster, you need to provide some sort of strategy ideas, so then players can say, okay, I know roughly what China's trying to do, I know what India's trying to do, or whatever, and then that gives you a bit of a spot to work from when you're playing your first or second game.
That's right. Let's check out the tokens here.
Sure.
So, nice.
Well, they got quick start rules as well.
Yep.
If you don't like the rulebook,
sweet.
You got the one-pager.
One difference that's nice here that I notice is before... these two looked almost identical.
Oh yeah,
and they've added the icon in the middle so you can distinguish them. Yeah, because they are so similar. And then let's check out
the
what
fun
we've
bits.
got for
All right.
Nice. Oh, that's cool.
Ooh, silica gel.
Now, when we were at Fort Circle,
Circle
DC, they had the giant printed ones, and those are so fun, pushing them around.
Oh,
too.
I know, yes.
But so these are just
cue.
Just classic.
These are like little horsies.
Yeah. Oh, there they are. Nice.
Yeah.
That's cute.
And then they got the boats there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
Huh.
That's good.
Yeah.
So that's Diplomacy, Era of Empire. If you've had a chance to play, and if you have especially, we love strategy. So please, if you have any thoughts on strategy, we'd love for you to put that down in the comments.
Yeah, and don't forget to get out there.
Get gaming.
And be legendary.